I've given up on being nice, and I'll tell you why. What's up guys, Matty B here and welcome to No Going Back, the channel with the tips, tricks and tools for mind and body transformation to help you be the best version of yourself. Now growing up, I was always nice. All my friends, family, everyone who knows me knows I'm a nice guy. And on maths, I was painted as nice. Now that might sound good, but that nice persona was something that caused me to not speak out about things that bothered me. So if something upset me or I was uncomfortable with something or if I wasn't happy with things the way they were, I wouldn't say anything. I would expend so much energy keeping up the facade of being what I thought I was supposed to be, what I thought people wanted me to be, just to be liked and to keep others happy. It stopped me from living my authentic self, from being who I'm meant to be. The role I was playing was that of nice, and it was exhausting. Now today I want to talk to you about the difference between being nice and being kind. And whilst the two may sound similar, given certain contexts, they're light years apart. Being nice is telling someone what they want to hear. Being kind is telling someone what they need to hear. Being nice is transactional. You're essentially acting a certain way to get another person to like you in order to get something in return. You're expecting an exchange. If I'm nice to you, you'll be nice to me. Or if I give this to you, you'll give this to me. Whereas being kind is authentic. You're speaking your truth. You're not telling someone what they want to hear in the hopes they'll like you. You're essentially giving without expecting anything in return. Nice is momentary pleasure. It's instant gratification. It's selfish. You're doing that because you don't want to feel momentarily uncomfortable. But being kind, that is the greatest gift you can give someone. Think of all the times you've had friends or family members or loved ones do something or say something or behave in a certain way that didn't really sit right with you. You knew it wasn't the right thing they should do. You knew that if they could improve on this, work on this, change this, they would become a better person, but you didn't say anything. Or worse yet, something happened. Let's say a loved one got their feelings hurt by someone, and instead of saying, maybe there is some truth to what they're saying, maybe you could work on this thing, not because I think there's something wrong with you, but because I want the best for you. But instead, how many of us would say, oh no, it's not you. You're not the problem. They're the problem. You did nothing wrong. You keep doing you. They're the issue. And the person never grows. They never improve. They never get past this point. It's like they're set at this plateau, and instead of giving them a boost up to the next level, we keep them there because we don't want to hurt their feelings. We're so concerned with being nice, not upsetting them in the moment, but we don't allow them the feedback to grow and reach the next level of their personality, of their growth, of their change, of their transformation. And not only that, it trains them not to be able to take constructive criticism in the future. That support network of people who love them and tell them what they want to hear, who placate them, who be nice, they're not always going to be around. So what happens when that person faces adversity or gets constructive criticism in a job? They're going to fall apart. They're not going to know how to take it because they never learnt the ability to take constructive criticism and grow from that. So you know what's going to happen when they do get that constructive criticism? They're going to feel attacked. They're going to feel hurt. They're going to fall apart. Or they're going to lash out, neither of which allows that person to get any better. The irony being that if you didn't like this person, if you were this person's worst enemy, you would not want them to get better. So you'd tell them what they wanted to hear. If you truly wanted the best for them, you'd allow them that feedback so they can grow, they can reach their full potential and be the person they're meant to be. Becoming aware of your weaknesses, working on them, and turning them into strengths is an incredible skill. And you're never going to be able to do that if you're not getting constructive criticism and feedback. Remember, you're only as strong as your weakest link, and you can't work on a weakness you don't know anything about. So get comfortable being uncomfortable, learn to embrace constructive criticism and feedback, discard stuff that's not helpful, and grow from it. You'll be a much better person because of it. There's a great saying we all grew up hearing, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. I think this is a misnomer. I think that nice should be replaced with kind. If you can't say anything kind, don't say anything at all. So many of us think that if we can't say something nice, something the other person wants to hear, something that'll stroke their ego and not upset them, then we shouldn't say anything at all. That's a huge mistake, and that keeps them from growing. A few years ago, I had a job that I hated. The boss was really unpleasant to work with. They would undermine me constantly. They would make me feel like I was always doing something wrong. After 6 months, I realized I couldn't take this anymore. I had to get out. My mental health My happiness was more important than staying in a job I hated. Instead of just embracing the momentary discomfort of telling them what I really thought and really felt, I lied. I told them what they wanted to hear. I was nice. And unfortunately for both me and the boss, neither one of us benefited. I felt like a coward for not being able to say what I really felt and what really upset me. And at the same time, they never learnt that the reason I've had employees leave me is maybe because my management style isn't quite right. So for all I know, they're still continuing the same pattern. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is tell someone where they can improve. If you're always telling someone what they want to hear, your word starts to mean nothing. Essentially, you're basically telling the world that my word has a price. I can prostitute it out to the nearest person to get that nearest hit, to make them feel good, to make myself feel good because I'm liked. You're not giving people your opinion. You're giving them theirs. You become less trustworthy. What you have to say doesn't carry as much weight because people can tell when you're just telling them what they want to hear. And although it might sound good to their ego and it may feel good momentarily, there's something in them that goes, I don't value that person's opinion as much. What that person has to say doesn't carry as much weight as someone who speaks their mind, as someone who says what they're feeling, as someone who doesn't hold back because they're worried that I might get momentarily uncomfortable. Now, some of what I'm saying is probably sound like, oh, just tell the truth, be abrupt, be rude. No. The goal with being kind is not to be rude. You can be nice and be kind in the same situation, but you have to be kind to yourself first and foremost. And doing that is sometimes saying nothing at all. There will come times when you'll be in environments, you'll be in situations, you'll be with people who just aren't ready to hear what you need to say. And that's fine. Everyone's on their own journey and they take their own time to get there. Learn to read the signs of when is a good time to speak your truth and when is not. The kindest thing you can do in that situation is not say anything. Create some distance, create some separation, and protect yourself until that other person is ready to hear what you have to say. Remember to acknowledge their positives and tell them why you want to help them. Tell them that I want you to be the best version of you. I want you to reach your full potential. I don't want to see bad things happen to you. I'm telling you this out of love. I'm telling you this because I care about you. So let's say you want to start being kind instead of nice. You want to give people constructive criticism and feedback. It's really uncomfortable. I know. It's hard to give. It's hard to hear. Fortunately, there are some templates we can use that make the process a little easier to digest. My recommendation is Marshall Rosenberg's 4-part nonviolent communication process. It's a simple 4-step process that allows you to give someone feedback, constructive criticism, without it coming across as an attack. The first step is observation. You offer an observation of a behavior or an action or something that's bothered you. The second step, feelings. You explain the feelings you felt when you saw or heard or observed this observation. The third step are your needs and expectations. You express your needs and your expectations in a situation very similar to this. And step 4, requests. You leave the person with a request to improve their behavior in the future. So I'll give you an example. Are you all right?
Yeah, fine.
Can I help?
Nope.
Give it here. You're not strong enough.
Excuse me?
I just meant let me do it. You can't do it.
I can do what I want.
Are you all right?
Yeah, fine.
Can I help?
Nope. I've got this.
Look, I get that you're a strong, independent woman. In fact, it's one of the things I love most about you. But I do notice sometimes there are some physical struggles you have when it's like opening jars or lifting certain things. And I feel overlooked and a little helpless when you don't let me help you, because I don't like to see you struggle. I love helping you. So in the future, when you're struggling with things like opening a jar, could you let me help you? Thank you. The goal is to be someone who lifts others up, not tears them down. There are enough of those people in the world. Don't be another one. So there you have it, guys, the difference between being nice and being kind. Remember, being nice is telling someone what they want to hear. Being kind is telling someone what they need to hear. Constructive criticism and feedback is never easy to give or receive, but it's necessary to grow and reach your fullest potential. But I want to hear from you guys. What's a piece of advice that you received that at the time didn't seem very nice, but in retrospect was really kind? Let me know in the comments below. If you liked this video and found it helpful, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you want to see more videos on the topic of transformation, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Until next time, I'm Matty B, and be kind to one another.